time to embarrass Brendan. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mike Smith, and now everyone connected to this text board knows that I stuff my underwear. It's a great idea. I want to start by thanking Brendan's parents, Dan and Linda, and Megan's parents, Dennis and Karen, for putting this wonderful event together. It's really... I especially want to thank Dennis and Karen for giving us Megan. She's a person who I can always rely on to be the life of the party. Very true. I'm sure all the guys here will agree with me that it's a very sad day that this beautiful bride is officially off the market. And at the same time, I'm sure all the ladies here will agree with me that it's just another day. I'm just kidding, buddy. For Brendan and I, our true love started for one another in college. Freshman year, I was moving in, just finished, heard some voices across the hall, and decided to barge in, introduce myself, and Brendan was there with our other buddy, Phil, eating some pizza. So I walk in and, say, hey, what's up, guys, Mike Smith, and Phil, hops up, being a friendly guy, and says, how you doing, Phil Palumbo? And Brendan casually puts down his slice of pizza and struts over to me, sticks his hand out and says, what's up, buddy, I'm Squash. My first thought is this kid for real right now? I wasn't really sure if I should beat him up or just turn around and run out of the dorm, down Route 114 to see if I could catch up to my parents who were on their way home. But instead, I decided to give Squash a shot. And Squash and I, we hit it off from day one, decided to live with one another junior year, along with our other buddy Connor, also known as Laser. Junior year at St. A's, it's a big year of residency because it's the first year that you're eligible to live in the on-campus apartments. And the school chooses to do this big lottery. They make a big deal about it in the school cafeteria. And the thing is that there's so many apartments, so few students. Basically, everyone gets the apartment that they want. Basically. But what Connor and Squash did not know at the time was that they were choosing to live with the most unlucky person on the face of the planet. I've never won anything in my life. I'm a casino's best friend. So you see where this is going. We did not get the apartment we wanted. Instead, we were forced to live in the dorms, remain in the dorms, living amongst the prepubescent boys, sneaking our beers in. So junior year starts off, and all our buddies, everyone got an apartment except for us. They're all having raging parties every night, and we are completely miserable. But luck did roll our way. In October, two of our idiot friends, I will not say their names, managed to get themselves kicked off campus, and it opened up a bedroom in one of the apartments. So Connor, Squash, and myself, we hear the news, we go running to the dean, and to explain to him that we really want to move in, live with our friends, and we study 18 hours a day, and we've never drank a beer in our life, and we were all past altar boys. It's a Catholic college. And so the dean he didn't really care, but he just didn't understand why three grown men would want to squeeze into this one bedroom. But thankfully he accepted. So we move into this bedroom and immediately realize the dean is right. This is small. So we start rearranging furniture, and the simple solution would have been to stack two of the beds, one on top of the other, and make a bunk bed. But we couldn't decide on who would take top bunk. Because, why are you laughing? Well, I'm way too stubborn, and Connor is too short to get up there. And Squash has a tendency to wet the bed. Yeah, just did that, sorry. Part of the story. So we do one bed right next to each other, and it was terrible. And then in the bedroom right next door, we had TJ, who, could you stand up, please? He's not a little guy. And, thank you. We had another roommate who we nicknamed Gramps, who makes TJ look like a midget. So needless to say, the place was a little tight. But we managed to get by just fine. That was until Squash decided to add a new member to the family. Little Meg. Lucky for us, she comes in a small package. It happened on a magical night. I think it was a perfect combination of Keystone Light beers and the sweet sounds of David Allan Coe. These two lovebirds hit it off. Well, sort of. See, to start their relationship was a little slow. And I'm sure it had a lot to do with the lack of privacy. But Dennis, where are you? Rest assured, there was no room for messing around in this orphanage-like apartment. Instead, these two embarked on the longest streak of cuddling in the history of mankind. Or spooning, as a lot of us like to refer to it. It went on for months, and it was actually pretty cute. And for them, I'm sure, junior year, it couldn't come to an end fast enough. So they could have a little time to themselves without being serenaded with the sounds of Connor's bodily functions. And TJ, who Squash nicknamed the Snoring Giant. Fun times. But eventually, obviously, their relationship evolved into something beautiful. And I was lucky enough to be along the ride every step of the way. I lived with Squash junior year, senior year, a year in Southie, and even a summer in Brighton. I got to live with both Squash and Meg. So the funny thing is that you would think I'd be the perfect person to fill you guys in on their arguments and their hard times, but that's not the case at all. It was actually Squash and myself who were doing all the arguing, and Meg always jumping in to tell us that we fight like a married couple. A lot of fun. One last little story. This was about 2 years ago now. Squash emailed me, and it was a link to a boat that he had found advertised online. It was a gorgeous boat. I mean, 28-foot bayliner or something like that, like 10 or 12-foot beam, sleep 6 people, twin screws, the whole 9 yards. And he and I both, we really love boats, and we always talk about buying a boat. I actually owned a boat. It was the biggest mistake of my life. So when Squash told me that he wanted to buy one, I mean, I was all for it. The best boat to have is your friends. So he starts contacting the owner, and it really seemed like everything was a go. And the day came when he was gonna go check it out and give the guy an offer, and I didn't hear from him at all that day. So I figured, oh, maybe he bought the boat and took it for a joyride or whatever. So I kept calling him, nothing. Finally, the end of the day, he answers the phone, and he lets out, I'm sure a lot of you have heard this before, a very typical Squash sigh. And he answers the phone, and he's like, well, you see, Mike, I'm planning on buying Megan a ring, and I can't afford both a ring and a boat. So I'm choosing to go with the ring. The boat's, it's gonna have to wait. Meg, I do apologize for being very selfish because I was totally bummed out. All my plans of vineyard, heading out to the vineyard and some boat parties, just slipped away. But I can stand here today and say, Squash, that was by far the best decision of your life. Yeah. So, I don't have a glass. I'll grab yours. Thank you. Love you. Can everybody join me? Raise your glasses in a toast. In the immortal words of Sean Carter, Jay-Z, may the best times of your past be the worst times of your future. Cheers, guys. Yes. That's it.